cooled down. It's 25 degrees now, so it's gone down 2 degrees since I opened the door and turned off the big lights.
6 minutes, 5 minutes.
This is the problem now. I need to get like an air conditioner, a proper fit an air conditioner to this building.
So the last time you guys were
Pardon me.
super cold.
Jeez, sorry guys.
The heavy second stage that happened at T-minus 18 minutes.
So we are inside the T-minus 10 minutes. We are now almost at T-minus 9 minutes and counting.
Engines on the boosters to get ready for engine start.
Yeah, just like we talked about on the strong.
Cool. It's so hot in here. I've got one of them like stress things. It's it looks like a boss, and it's so stretchy now. Richard just closed all his rings on his exercise. Hey, look, I can check chat.
Fill levels, and locks on the first stage is almost complete, and second stage locks is about 50%.
Check chat.
Very well.
Oh, what?
Full fuel loading today, and things are going good.
Other one.
That's awesome. And speaking of weather, we are launching. Weather satellite. So we should talk about the launch weather, and we've been watching
Come on,
that,
let's see if this works.
leading up to our launch.
Oh, my friend Zoe's playing Grand Theft Auto, and she's streaming. Wow.
Weather is go for launch. We have found a hole within the some of the storms that are around our area. Launch Weather Officer Brian Sizik again confirming that we have found an opportunity to launch today at 5:26 p.m. Eastern Time.
Yeah, that team worked very quickly. Brian has definitely been very busy this afternoon, but working with Charlie Myers.
Why is it where?
They moved our window 10 minutes, and they were able to find that sweet spot in the weather today. To get
by the way, guys, do you like the thumbnail of this? Oh god, sorry about that. Do you like the thumbnail?
Rocket that you see on launch pad 39A here at Kennedy Space Center. Again, so far we've heard call-outs that RP1 loading has been completed in the center booster as well as one of the side boosters. We expect.
And I spelled that completely wrong. How the hell can I do that?
Completed for fueling of
honestly, if I'm sat too far away from my keyboard, I can't type.
Telemetry on the launch vehicle, things are progressing very well. The data.
Negative Y, fuel load complete.
There will be negative Y, fuel load complete. So
come on.
2 side boosters and center core are complete with RP1, and they're finishing off liquid oxygen tanking into those 3 boosters. We should hear that.
There we go, I found it.
So LOX load will be complete as the spacecraft gets ready to go.
I love the chat. Yeah, it looks really good.
Goes U satellite.
I like it.
With the spacecraft, we are also expecting the launch vehicle right now.
That looks really good.
To internal power.
Let's see in my stream from another stream. It looks pretty cool actually.
Again, we are launching GOES-U today, the 4th and final weather satellite in the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration's.
Yeah, it looks really smooth. Looks really good.
And once operational, GOES-U will become GOES-East and provide continuous imagery and atmospheric measurements
Look how
in the Western Hemisphere.
Dirty that.
It will monitor weather and
now
environmental conditions in near real time.
Yeah, looks good.
Forecasting and severe storm tracking. T-minus 5 minutes and 10 seconds.
Here we go. Oh, honestly, there's a problem with this chair. Is that I feel like I get comfortable, and then I'm sitting there for a little bit, and then I'm like, I'm actually not that comfortable.
Falcon Heavy tanks are pressurizing for strong back, retract.
I think, Martin, I'm actually going to get an office chair instead of a gaming chair. There's an office chair at my workplace, and it is really, really nice. And let's just say I could sit in it for hours. But I'm sort of coming out of the realization of, right, so you can type on what, yeah, no, it's cool.
The strong back will then tip back slightly a few degrees.
Yeah,
Ready for launch.
I love this chair, and it is good for sitting around and, you know, for a little bit. But once you've sat in it for like an hour, it starts to hurt.
Go, no go poll. The final check.
You sure the weight you're carrying? No, it's definitely the chair. The chair at work is so nice. I keep saying I'm going to nick it. Oh.
Thank you.
Alright, here we go. So we're coming up to our...
Confirming that weather, right, was the big watch item, and that is not a constraint to launch right now.
That's good.
Yep, the team has looked at all the data. Things continue to progress very well. Weather looks really good out there.
You might have back... Oh, of course I have back issues.
There we hear the final go for launch from Dr.
See, now I'm actually laying about...
and LOX load on
what?
side post.
From 90, I'm probably about a 75-degree angle, and this makes my back feel so much nicer. But when I have it 90 degrees like you're meant to, my back just hurts so much. Yeah, when mine's full upright, it hurts. And I tend to actually slouch over a bit more. So,
yes, very happy to have him.
and also my feet don't actually touch the floor properly, like I'm on tiptoes. So if I was realistically to have my feet flat on the floor,
Stage 1, lock load complete.
there you go, that's feet flat on the floor. That probably might help as well.
Stage 1, all 3 boosters now have RP1 and LOX on board.
Oh, here we go, guys.
Waiting for the remaining LOX to fill into the second stage LOX tank. And Falcon
I had a leg rest on my previous gaming chair. Yeah, and the little vibrator thing at the back. I've got that on here, which actually I'm going to pull up now because where I'm sitting back a little bit, my feet touching the floor.
The Falcon Heavy rocket is completely filled.
I tend not to use the massager now. It's just too noisy.
At this point, we are so happy of everything's going, and as you can see on the screen right there, weather outside at Launch Complex 39 looks very good. We're about 1 minute and 50 seconds from launch, and the team's progressing down to
how high?
Ready to take over.
I'm too immature for that sentence.
Oxygen being vented out, from the humidity
I have it round about just behind my back, so sort of just below my ribs. And Martin, don't you dare make a joke out of that.
Finalizing and venting the ground lines that fill the pressure vessels in the Falcon Heavy, so that they're closing off all the ground connections, turning everything over to internal.
Do you know what? It just looks so weird seeing the Falcon 9s with a cone on top.
Arm the flight termination system. And Falcon will be in startup.
Up his nose. Thank you.
Falcon Heavy is in startup.
And that means the Falcon Heavy's flight computer is now in
Here we go, guys. We're under for Starship. don't lag, yeah. Hey, here we go.
Liftoff of GOES-U, NOAA's newest weather
Damn.
satellite to monitor the Earth and Sun in high definition.
Jot. Oh, look at that. Perfect timing for the bird to go across.
Engines look nominal.
Damn. Lags mad. Oh god, they got all the kids screaming. So this is actually the 10th liftoff of Falcon Heavy.
Towards the heavens.
How crazy is that? We've only had 10 launches of Falcon 9, Falcon Heavy.
Into space.
Yeah, we've had 296,
The rocket from the ground.
I want to say, of Falcon 9s.
Rocket is now powering down for Max Q. Max Q is the moment.
Look at that. Oh, this is like the old style. This is the actual. Oh wow. Jeez, look at that. He's having trouble trying to keep up with that.
Supersonic,
Yeah, yeah.
traveling faster than the speed of sound.
Shall I use the ray? Definitely, yeah. I would say use the leg rest. Jeez, look at that.
Next, pressure on the Falcon Heavy. Vehicle still.
So you can see the flames actually slightly come up over the legs because of that, like, drag effect of the
Shot from on board the rocket, looking down on the Earth that it is leaving. And all 27 Merlin engines providing 5.1 million pounds of thrust.
Jeez, look at that. So I wonder where the storm cell is they were worried about.
At T plus 2 minutes and 28 seconds, the side boosters are going to shut off, while the center core will continue on. Wow, what a shot there of, again, all 27.
This is honestly my favourite
Merlin
part of the whole
engines
rocket
firing
launch.
off 5.1 million pounds of thrust.
I wonder what sort of angles we're going to get on the boost of... Oh, wow, look at that.
And when the center core shuts off,
Oh,
flight,
dude.
that's called as main engine cutoff or MECO.
That looks so good.
Side boosters are performing. All boosters are performing.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, center it up. I'm going to get a screenshot of this. Oh, I shouldn't have done that.
Side booster separation confirmed.
There we see BECO and side boost.
MXL.
I don't know if that paused it for you guys, but my whole screen's just dipped out.
Once the center core.
Oh, look at that. Look at the boost back burns. Look at that.
Boost back startup.
A lot of things happening here. So
It's just
again,
so,
the
like-
boosters that are going to be returning to the Cape here, landing
Wow.
at zones 1 and 2. These two boosters have 3 burns, so we're seeing a boost back burn
All
now.
vehicles are
Essentially,
following nominal trajectories.
That is mental.
these boosters have flipped back and are returning on a path to the Cape here. There will be 2 more burns, a re-entry burn and then a landing burn.
See, look, you can see one of them
Quite a show.
is coming down
Folks that are here on the
faster
Space Coast because
than
of
the other one. They're
the
not doing the
Yeah,
down
absolutely.
together
We
anymore. They're
are,
doing
looking
a
forward to
1
the
and a
side
2.
boosters. Side boosters landing zone 1 and 2.
That
We're
looks so
about,
good.
26 seconds away from main engine cutoff and the center core separating. Once the center core separates, we will then
Jeez.
have MVAC, which is the Merlin vacuum engine.
So I
for
wonder
space,
why.
Start up and
I
get
wonder
ready
if they were
for
having
takeoff.
issues, like,
SS1.
during the landing burn or
Today we
something.
have 3 burns.
They were
First
having,
to
like,
goes used on
wake
the
turbulence,
space.
maybe?
First of those 3 burns.
Look at that. Gone.
There we hear the 2 side boosters have boost back shut
MECO.
down.
And now we're going to
Separation
watch
confirmed.
live footage there.
Like that. Look at that.
Nico.
Why does Falcon Heavy look so old in footage wise, and then you get the glorious, like, second stage cameras, which are just
You see that on the right
beautiful.
side of your screen.
because that's basically just a normal Falcon 9 second stage now.
Fairing again is the
Damn.
two halves.
Follow nominal trajectories.
Oh,
Bearing separation confirmed.
There we have confirmation the fairing has deployed. The fairings will.
My
are
bottom's
brand
hard
new
on the
fairings
chair.
for the GOES mission, and they
there's
will
not a
be
lot of padding then
recovered
in your chair.
by the recovery ship.
Look at that.
Doug. SpaceX will look to reuse those fairings on a future flight, along with the side boosters. As we see there, they're coming back to Earth to land on landing zone 1 and 2. So things are progressing very well here.
Oh, nice. Hello, Beach Nut.
23 seconds.
I'm just going to saw Starlink formation come over last night.
Entry
Oh,
burn
super
for
awesome. Yeah, I
plus
haven't
line
seen a
and
Starlink
booster,
formation
side booster
come over
will,
here in the UK
fire up
in
their engines
oh,
to start slowing down
at least a
vehicles
year.
and
I've
get ready for
seen
landing.
like Crew
Yeah, lots to
Dragon
watch. Again,
come
the left
across
side of
me
your screen
chasing up
will
the
be a track of the
ISS,
boosters that are coming back to
but
the Cape here. On the right
it's
side
a
of your screen,
3-year-old
that
gaming
is
chair. Okay,
the
yeah,
NVAC engine on the second
that's
stage
probably
that
why
continues
there's
to
no
burn
padding left.
as it makes its way into the correct orbit
That
to
is
drop
super
off
cool.
GOES-U later today.
I would say we don't get much Starlink stuff come over us
Stage 1 FTS.
anymore. Our sort of shell is done.
There we hear the autonomous flight termination system was safe
Right.
as it
So we
returned
should
back
be
to Earth,
coming up to
making sure the vehicle
entry
is,
burn
in
now,
the
I
proper
think, soon.
configuration for landing.
Where's our entry burn going?
The second stage is currently taking GOES-U across the Atlantic
Where the hell?
towards southern Africa.
Jeez, it's already
And this
over
is
the
the
Southern
first
Africa
time, actually,
already.
GOES satellite is launching on a Falcon Heavy. Only the second time NASA's Launch Services Program is using a Falcon Heavy.
Yeah, we launched our first Falcon Heavy with SpaceX back in October of 23 with the Psyche mission.
Yeah, Psyche,
the side
wow.
boosters actually that we used on the Psyche mission will be used for our future mission Europa Clipper
Ooh.
this October. So brand new.
Yeah, we got
for GOES-U
basically
and everything.
3 Falcon Heavies this year.
Very well.
So this is our second one, and in October
so far today.
we have
Yeah,
the
those
third one.
who typically watch our launch broadcasts.
Entry burn startup.
There you go, entry alert.
There we
That
heard the
is-
call out for entry
Jeez,
burn.
look at
Vehicles
that.
are slowing. You can imagine this as
That
a,
is mental.
brake on your car where it starts slowing the
It's
boosters
more
back
than a
down
brake.
very
This is
quickly,
like,
as
EY
they
and Y entry burn shut down.
and then we
ooh,
hear the shutdown as the boosters have slowed down. Next thing we will see is the landing
EY
burn.
and Y FTS is safe.
and
yeah. So it's
landing
just down the
zone one and
bottom.
two.
If you look at it,
Beautiful.
oh wow,
Nominal trajectories.
From the
holy
ground as we
cow.
those boosters make their way back to the Cape.
that is so impressive. If you can focus it, mate, that'd be great.
Camera's view as well.
Everybody wants to see.
Wow. Oh, there you go.
As we said earlier.
There you go. Look at
landing is
that.
really exciting for a lot of people.
It's losing it. It's lost it.
Side boosters coming back to
Oh no, there you go. It's, oh look, look at that.
You here in the NBC, we will
EY
get some.
and Y transonic.
We will get
Stage 2 FTS is safe.
There we go. Look at the.
we will
That's
get
the
some,
vapor cone.
loud, shaking
passing
right here in the
through,
Mission Director Center. I know a lot of people
sound
right here
barrier.
at Bard will be excited when they hear the.
Here we go.
sonic booms.
EY and
my-
Y landing burn.
Landing burns has started up.
Terminal guidance.
Oh mate, look at it.
Wow, look at that.
Look
As
at
it
it.
winds its way back down.
Oh, there's the double sonic boom.
Sonic booms here in the room.
EY and Y landing light deploy.
Our monitors
that.
shaking
That
as we
looks
watch
amazing.
these two
That is
boosters
just
land.
awesome.
So
Two
you can
side
see the
boosters
pad
choreographed
just over
design
there.
and landing zone one
I know someone that is there right now, so they should have a clear view of them landing.
Everybody looks great.
Nice.
On the landing zone 1 and 2 as MVAC continues its mission with this
Pico.
first.
Oh, okay, it's not.
And there we heard the call out for SECO, which is SECO 1.
So the first stage is basically going to just
And things look very
Nominal
good. The
orbit
trajectory
boom
looks-
into the ground.
We hear the call out there that nominal orbit insertion.
See, surely there would be
Second
like
stage
footage
for this first burn, Megan.
of that
And what you're looking
that
at now, everyone on your
core
screen, is the
stage
trajectory for,
actually
the second
hitting
stage of
the
Falcon
atmosphere or
Heavy
hitting the
GOES-U.
ground or
So
whatever.
again, it's making its way across the Atlantic towards southern Africa. This was the first of 3 burns for the second stage. The second stage will now coast for about 18 minutes before reigniting for its second burn. And if you look at the bottom of your screen there, we have a progress
we're all the way
bar
up
of
here.
the milestones that we're covering during this live launch.
Here we are.
broadcast. And SES2, that is that second burn we are talking about. That will happen in, again, about 18 minutes from now. So, Mick, as you said, so far, so good. Really exciting launch.
Very exciting launch, and we got through that weather, and GOES-U's on its way.
Yeah, very dramatic and appropriate weather.
Yeah.
As we and the launch team navigated that to see us lift off from the Space Coast at 5:26 p.m. Eastern Time. Again, we'll be with you for some of the milestones that you see on the bottom of your screen. But for now, let's turn it back to the host desk. Daryl and Alec, take it away.
Oh,
Thank you very
hostess.
much. If you just joined us, welcome live to the Kennedy Space Center in Florida.
Right, I'm going to quickly check X.
GOES-U launched from right here at the Kennedy Space Center from Launch Complex 39A. I'm with Alec Krautman, who is from NOAA. I am with NASA, and this was a heck of a launch. We watched it out there together. It was interesting. I mean, that rumble and that roar. What do you think?
Oh, man, what a view. How did we get this weather window? It was outstanding. It was beautiful out there.
It was fascinating. You made the point to show me, like, you know, look behind you. Here's these massive clouds that have accumulated behind us, far enough off to the west. But then as we look to the east, it's totally clear. Saw the thing go up the whole way.
Yeah, it's rocking and rolling New Orlando, but we were all good here.
I tell you,
All good here.
Appreciate them holding off those storms long enough to get this thing going. Well, now the satellite is surviving the rigors of riding a rocket into space now, but we've got...
Oh man, I can't find anything yet. No one's posted anything. I mean, it was a bit too quick, I think.
The NOAA team will start commissioning the satellite. So as we jump ahead in the timeline, what else does that involve?
Yeah, so these satellites will be...
Oh my god, yes. Oh, here we go. Someone's...
...facility in Suitland, Maryland. And over the next...
Right, here we go, guys. I got a video to show. Here we go.
And then calibration and validating and check out the instruments. We'll see first light various instruments later.
There it is. Says 1. Flipping Nora, that's coming in well quick.
Oh, that's cool.
That is mad. There's a double sonic boom. Damn. That is mad. So everyone, go subscribe to What About It on YouTube and everything like that. That is epic. There we go. That is very cool. Okay, can you stop? Stop. I couldn't get it to stop.
A mesovortex is a small-scale rotation in the eye wall of a tropical cyclone, and it can be a telltale sign that a storm is getting better organized and intensifying.
What are they talking about?
Yeah, when we started to notice the mesovortices in the eye, you know, that was during a period of time when we were starting to see some pretty dramatic inner core structural.
Oh yeah, guys, if you haven't seen, there is actually a new movie being released. And it is called Fly Me to the Moon. And a lot of flat earthers are using it as proof that NASA could have faked the moon landings.
Continue to spin around the eye, even while it was over southern Louisiana.
It's quite unusual for us to be able to see the mesovortices, say, hours after landfall. And the reason is because after a storm comes ashore, it typically loses its fuel source. It loses its the warm ocean water, and that causes the storm to weaken.
But Ida's mesovortices were still visible over land because of what scientists call the brown ocean effect. Researchers have found that some tropical cyclones can maintain their strength long after landfall.
Well, where the hell's it gone? I literally had... I lost it.
We think that the reason that it remained strong in
I
space
thought
was
marshy
land.
I couldn't spit on that thing, you know?
Thought it was still over the warm ocean.
Oh god.
Hurricane Ida will definitely be a storm for the history books, and its full impacts are still being...
Oh my god. He fired up his bloody thing again.
NOAA satellites will be our eyes in the sky to help forecasters stay
man.
on top
Right.
of these monster storms.
T plus 14 minutes. Everything's good with the spacecraft.
Oh god, what's she doing?
Let's check in.
Asteroid wet is going off.
With NASA's Sandra Connell.
What's she saying?
Southgate, boom! We are the best country on earth, and we're playing like Arsenal! Hopeless! Sack him now!
You know, absolutely fabulous. Beautiful launch.
Oh my god.
Thrilled. I have to say, I'm privileged to have seen several launches.
Please don't. go into a
So beyond the launch itself,
into
what's
a
exciting about the Goes You mission?
acting
So, GoTo
acting job.
as you know, is the fourth in a series of geostationary satellites that actually support
Oh God.
weather, whole weather forecasting system. And so they steer over the U.S.
I mean,
so that
she is right though.
Western Hemisphere.
We are playing like
That is
Arsenal.
really critical data forming and evolving so that we can be prepared
That's actually jokes.
during and actually support after.
Right,
after
wonder how the middle school is going to feel about students being able to access their phones on their Macs. Yes, but the Mac...
And how that has developed over the years.
Yes. So we have had a partnership for 50 years with NOAA. We have been building these kind of spacecraft. We develop them, we launch them, we commission them, and then NOAA operates them. And it's to support both terrestrial and space weather. Space weather is basically the sun's sending energetic particles towards, well, throughout the solar system.
Who the bloody hell is this? Why is this being recommended to me?
Impact our power grids and cause problems for us here on Earth, so it's important to study space weather as much as it is.
Hang on, wait, he's an atheist and a flat earther.
What's next in this NASA-NOAA collaboration?
Yes. So
Wait.
Again, we've had a long-term partnership, so we continue to plan for the future. So, and there is a
Oh,
video
okay, he's not.
series that is going to be the.
It says
the
anti-flat earther.
follow on. So we're very excited to be partnering on that.
Is chat working?
NASA has on the
Chat is
system,
working as far as I
we
can
have a
see.
mission called IMAP that's launched
You've been
this
told off
time.
or something.
And we have a rideshare mission called Space Weather Follow-On, which is a NOAA mission. So we're going to be advancing our work in space weather as well as terrestrial.
As far as I'm aware, it looks like it's okay.
Being here, glad you got to witness that in person.
I noticed actually Rich hasn't joined the chat. He was going to join the chat.
Thank you. And we've been talking, of course, about Goes You and the mission.
Read
Continue to
above.
track, the rocket and spacecraft there.
I thought
It's the second
thought
stage.
is
And Goes You, making
what
their
the
way through space, getting ready
thought
for another burn. Alec, we want to talk a little bit about hurricanes.
I can't read. I'm so tired.
Let's talk about the most deadliest and most
Thought
destructive
what
aspects
was
of
Hock to spit on the thing.
how can Goes You
God.
help with storm surge? Is that possible?
Honestly, that meme,
Delicate aspect of
the one
hurricane
after
is
that.
storm surge, the water in general, storm surge and inland flooding. And so from we monitor the strength and intensity of the storm as it
is chat working?
and after landfall.
Oh, is that? Are you trying to get Nightbot to work? By any chance? Because
Satellites and from the satellites, with the ABI, and it shows the general extent of inundation after a storm.
stream
Coast,
elements.
Hurricane Laura.
Let's see if stream elements is working again.
Managers an idea
Because I'm having lots of problems with. Oh, there's a nice cold breeze coming through. It's still 25 degrees in here. Honestly, it's so hot.
What we're looking at now is from the polar satellites, and it gives you a better idea of where water is still residual.
Remind me later.
And so this is residual water
Right.
from storm surge and water from flooding from heavy rains.
So this is a valuable tool. As you
Bot
talk to
settings.
emergency managers after
Right,
a
stream
storm,
tools.
because
No.
You got to know where your flooding is. You got to know where the people who are potentially stranded from that kind of water.
Pause
need
alerts,
help.
mute alerts.
Deploy resources and to coordinate response.
All right. Very
Uh,
good. So continuing
I don't
to talk
know.
about hurricanes a little bit.
Right.
Earlier in the show, we talked about NOAA's forecast for this year, and it's going to be a super active one. 4 to 7 major hurricanes with 110.
I don't know how to do
Very important to
this.
the folks here in Florida and all the way up to eastern
Elements?
seaboard, as well
No.
as the Gulf.
Overlays?
Why
No.
so many this year?
Add chat?
That's right. We're really seeing
No.
exceptionally warm sea surface temperatures
No.
across the Atlantic Basin, the Caribbean, into the Gulf, and that's the main driver. We're also seeing weaker wind shear along.
Sponsors, no.
For these storms to take off.
Ah, chat.
Right,
Here we
and
go.
So, when it comes to planning, it's really important that people have a plan. I think it's probably, every year we hear, start a plan now. Most people, I think, or many people, I should say, probably say,
I said asterisk was.
I think
That's the
It
problem.
takes one storm to impact
I
your
generally
season,
don't
so
think she
it's
is.
gonna be, a light season.
Because, like, on her
If you get hit by a
OnlyFans,
hurricane,
it's
one of
usually
the big
just
ones
her
was,
and
right,
that
the,
divvy
we
boy.
had one of our Hurricane Hunter aircraft with us at Kennedy earlier today. So with our satellite imagery from
Right.
GOES, the Hurricane Hunter aircraft, we're ready at NOAA for hurricane season. So we encourage.
I'm going to try something. I'm going to see if this
Alex
works.
been doing a great job answering my questions.
Yes.
Fair
Fair enough.
Also, throughout the show, we've been asking you to submit your questions on hashtag #AskNASA from the social media. So let's take a few more questions now, if you're good with that, Alec, and let's go ahead and start popping those
Here we go.
up.
Let's see if this
We have
works.
Space Gamer on X asks, will there be any more launches?
Oh my god, it does.
The
The Able says, lean towards no XD. Oh, that's actually kind of funny. Right. Custom commands.
That's a ways from now, but the technology of GeoXO, how different is it going to be from Go's year?
Even more high resolution for the current instruments. We'll have another.
Oh my god, that's so cool.
The lightning mapper. We're also adding a hyperspectral sounder, an ocean color instrument.
I'm just saying.
And that'll give us more information about our environment and.
All right, another question.
Martin, what's got into you? I mean, probably true, yeah.
Why are the satellites renamed once they reach orbit?
That's right. So on the ground, we go by the letters. So this one was GOES U. Once it reaches geostationary orbit, it'll be renamed GOES 19. It's indicative of the successful mission once it makes it. This is a risky process, and so it gets a new name once it achieves that milestone.
That's pretty good.
We have the operational GOES East and GOES West positions.
All right, very good. Thank you, Alec. Let's send it back now to Philip Hargrove, who was on a packed balcony during launch with a member of NOAA's leadership.
Thanks, Daryl. Yes, I'm here joined by the director of NOAA's Office of Space Weather Observations, El Sayed Talat. Thank you so much for being here.
I'm very pleased to be here.
Yeah, there's some good things up here.
How was the launch? Tell me what your experience was like.
It was fantastic. It was picture perfect. It was beautiful, and the sound was just amazing.
Yeah, really, really was. So we've heard a bit about this compact coronagraph. Can you tell us a bit more about that instrument and why it's important that that's on GOES U?
So the compact coronagraph, or CCOR-1, is the first
what the hell am I doing? No one's.
And it's a advanced solar telescope that blocks the disk of the sun, so that we can measure the outer atmosphere of the sun, the solar corona. And it's very important to measure that because that's where space weather, extreme space weather events originate. These large explosions off the sun called coronal mass ejections that can send billions of tons of matter hurtling towards Earth at millions of miles per hour.
Right. So it kind of creates its own solar eclipse. That's what you told me earlier.
Yes,
right?
Basically this telescope will be able to take a solar eclipse and it send it down to the forecasters every 30 minutes, within 30 minutes, so sooner than that. And it'll be the continuous operations of having a solar eclipse basically within 30 minutes continuously.
And can you tell me about how this instrument works with the other instruments on board?
So what this instrument does, it allows us what our long-term forecasting in space weather. So 1 to 4 days after we see an explosion off the sun, we measure the characteristics of these explosions and put it into our models that propagate.
Right, I've changed a few things with chat, so if you get banned now, guys,
how big
it's not my fault.
The impact is going to be. And we really need to know that because that's important to protecting our technological infrastructures. These solar storms can affect the power grid, civil aviation,
how long we got left?
Other satellite operations, as well as communications and navigations. And this works in tandem with the other solar instruments on board that measure the solar and EUV, X-ray and EUV irradiance and image the sun.
So it's all the way
and
over
the
here now.
imagery of the sun gives us the context imagery of the sun that is basically like looking at the Atlantic basin for tropical cyclones as they develop, and then they might develop into hurricanes. We look at the sun with the solar ultraviolet imager to see if these regions of activity, which are centered around sunspots.
Right, guys, I'm going to be right back. I am going to pop to the toilet.
And we measure
I will
those
be
effects
right back.
with
Actually,
the
do I?
irradiance
I might be
measurements
right back
and the
anymore.
particle instruments that we have on
Oh man.
the GOES
Okay, I need to add.
Very interesting. And then what's next?
I'll be right
for
back.
NOAA with regards to space weather prediction?
So it's a very exciting time for space weather because we're developing, enhancing our capabilities. We are going to fly next year, in 2025, the Space Weather Follow-on L1 mission that is going to be an upstream buoy
There we go.
for
Right.
measuring the solar wind and incoming solar effects. 1 million miles upstream of Earth towards the sun.
Skadoosh.
Very exciting
Let's
stuff.
chuck
Thank you so
it
much for being here,
down.
and I'll toss it back to you, Megan.
Philip, Meg and I, again, are back here at the mission director.
Very well. That first
See you in a
burn,
sec, guys.
all the telemetry looked very good. Nominal. The vehicle's in a coast phase right now. Our next step coming up will be SES2. That's second burn, which we should be hearing here in about 20.
Goes you into its correct orbit, SES, so 5 seconds from now. All right, and there we go. We see the MVAC engine on the Falcon Heavy second stage lighting up. This is the second of 3 burns for this engine. This burn is going to last about 1 minute.
Vehicles performing phenomenal.
An interview about earlier in the broadcast.
Yep, we are about 20 seconds from SECO 2, and the vehicle is progressing in a good velocity, stage 2 velocity, and putting GOES U where it needs to be and making that adjustment in the trajectory that Philip and Mark talked about. And things look good as we're getting ready for MVAC shutdown here in about 5 seconds. Things still progressing well. And there we see MVAC shutdown, and we are beginning this coast phase. Megan, things look good on the vehicle as we are watching the telemetry screens here from SpaceX. The vehicle performed very well.
Nominal transfer orbit.
And there we heard the call out for a nominal transfer orbit, and we get ready for this long coast before our third burn.
Absolutely, a long coast phase. We're looking at a coast phase of about 3 hours and 53 minutes. Again, this is a very well choreographed to the second trajectory that gets us to that geostationary transfer orbit that you're talking about. LSP's mission is to deliver GOES U to that geostationary transfer orbit. And while it's there, they're going to do some checkouts of the satellite. And then once operational in geostationary orbit, that is where GOES U becomes GOES East, and we'll keep a continuous watch over the Western Hemisphere.
Yeah, as we get GOES U on its way today, things progressing forward. As Alex said, very exciting to see the liftoff of the Falcon Heavy with GOES U. Second stage is performing very well on that, and as we can see on the screen there, that stage 2 is coasting where it needs to get to, that normal geotransfer orbit insertion that we've heard about from Mark and Philip, and things are going to progress very well as the vehicle orients itself and gets GOES U oriented on its way for that third burn, which will be a very important burn to finalize the mission to get ready for deployment. And part of that would be that the Falcon Heavy performed so well today that that extra performance we had will give GOES U a little bit of extra life on orbit, because they don't have to use as much spacecraft fuel to get to geostationary. So vehicle performance looked very good today.
Yeah, the GOES satellites are designed to have 15 years of life, but because we are saving propellant on the spacecraft, because Falcon Heavy is delivering it farther towards its orbit, we are looking at a 20 plus
Almost
year
20
life.
years,
Yep. So again, just any other check of the spacecraft before we sign off for a little bit for this coast phase, Meg?
Nope, everything looks good on the spacecraft side. They are operating on batteries. As Mark said, they are on the right trajectory with the sun in the right position to get ready for deployment. And after deployment, they'll get some of their solar arrays out, partial solar array deployment, to be able to charge those batteries and get going, and then begin their work in the next few weeks to get to geostationary.
All right, so again, a coast phase of just under 4 hours. Mick and I are going to pop in at the top of every hour, so 7 and 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern time, to give you some quick updates about how everything's going. But for now, let's toss it back to Philip.
Thanks, Megan. Yes, I'm here with the NOAA administrator, Rick Spinrad. Thank you so much for being here with me.
I'm delighted to be here for this wonderful occasion.
Awesome. Yeah, tell me about the occasion. What was your experience like?
So this was obviously an awesome experience seeing the launch. I've got to say that it's a seminal event. It happens over just a few minutes, but you realize there's years and years and thousands of hours of contributions from everybody, and see it come together so beautifully, so well done, so comprehensively is awesome in the literal sense of the word.
Absolutely. Thank you for that perspective. Can you tell me a bit about why this satellite is important to the nation?
So for us at NOAA, we feel that our main responsibility is providing environmental intelligence about the Earth so that people can make decisions about economics, about safety, about protection of property. This satellite is a critical component in our understanding what's happening in the Earth, the ability to watch it, see storms forming, see smoke moving, see all the changes in the patterns of the currents in the oceans, and use that then to provide decision support. All of this is contributing to what we hope will be a climate-ready nation. We can only be climate-ready and be prepared for the impacts of change and devastating weather and climate events if we've got the information upon which we can make decisions.
Right. And can you talk about how NOAA collaborates with NASA to get that information and achieve those goals?
We've been working with NASA for decades. It's a wonderful collaboration. In fact, if you look at the people at the launch here, many of them worked in both agencies for many years. And basically, to define the sort of swim lanes of responsibility, NASA is the acquisition agent. They have responsibility for making sure the satellite and sensors are built according to the specifications. NASA also obviously provides the launch services that we saw here today. NOAA is the operator and manager, so when the system becomes operational, we also provide the funding for the acquisition. But by this spring, when GOES-U becomes GOES-19, it will be an operational satellite. That will be our responsibility to be monitoring the health and using the data 24/7, 365.
Awesome. And can you tell me about what you're looking forward to with this collaboration?
The continuation and continue to build the capabilities. NASA brings some incredible innovation to the table that we're going to build into the next generation of satellites. GeoXO is the continuation of the GOES-R series. We'll be launching GeoXO in about 2032. And between now and 2032, I expect nothing more than the continued great collaboration and innovation we've seen between NASA and NOAA over the last several decades.
Awesome. Thank you so
Right,
much.
guys,
exciting
I'm
stuff.
back.
So,
I'm
appreciate
back.
you telling me all about it, and thank you for being here.
Thank you. My pleasure.
All right, back to you.
Thank you, Philip.
I am
And,
back.
That was a nice burn that we just saw there. Still good.
How we going?
Phenomenal. On the way to
Oh.
orbit.
Yep.
Sounds good to me.
Stoked about that. All right.
Okay, so
now,
we've had-
GOES-U will coast for almost 4 hours.
Oh, wow.
Before spacecraft separation. Alec and I are going to step aside during that time, but of course, we're going to be keeping track on what's happening. There'll be a live tracking animation of the journey the entire time. And of course, we'll have brief updates on GOES-U from Megan and Mick on the hour. But before we break, after the successful launch
Yes,
of the
I'm
weather
back
satellite,
again.
we want to celebrate
Just to
a little
find
bit
out there's
by
a
showing
4-hour break.
and sharing some of the best weather art submitted to us by kids from around the world. And the theme of this campaign, what was it, Alec?
Lightning.
We like lightning. And there it is.
Steve Lightning.
Part of NASA's
Lightning McQueen.
Space Place Art Challenge, where every month we invite kids to draw something space related or make some art out of it. You can see it's not all drawn. In honor of GOES-U's launch today, we asked kids to draw what lightning looks like or make some lightning. And there were hundreds of submissions that you see there. If you want to see the rest of them, you can just scan the QR code at the lower right-hand part of your screen. You can see all 23 finalists. I even saw somebody made one with Legos.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Cascades, the Pacific Northwest made it in there. Lightning over Mount Hood. Wow.
Lightning was striking Mount Hood. Yeah. Rating from the rocket. Until then, have a good night.
Man, that is like ridiculously late. Unfortunately, I've got to go to bed. So, shall I put full screen? Well, I'm now ending the stream anyway because I've got a lot of coursework to do. So I'm going to go and do some coursework and then probably go to bed if I can because it's stupidly hot. So guys, thank you very much for joining me. Bit more of a chilled stream with the lighting all calmed down. So thank you very much guys for watching. We will have, hopefully we will have a stream tomorrow. I'm trying to think what I might do. Microsoft Flight Simulator again because I've got a few mods that I've added and yeah, it's pretty cool. So guys, that will be it for tonight. I shall see you guys tomorrow for another stream. So guys, thank you very much for watching. I'm Lee. Fly safe, land safe. I'll see you guys later. Bye.